Hi there, Victor Pross speaking to you, anarchist artist. You know, there's been a few criticisms as to why I would spend a great deal of energy and time criticizing the American government and without any focus on other countries like North Korea, for example. Why all this concerted, focused energy on criticizing the American government? Am I in favor of those other countries' tyranny? Is it some kind of like anarchist position just to criticize the United States? And and I get all these charges leveled at me as anti-American rhetoric and anarchist propaganda, and so some people are really pissed off, and I've ruffled their feathers that I would dare criticize the United States. And but basically, though, I didn't think that it would be necessary to explain it, but I guess that it is. I've tried to make it very clear, and I have made it very clear with numerous conversations that I've had and various videos that I've made, that my anarchism is based upon the non-aggression principle. Now, the non-aggression principle isn't something that's confined to a given patch of land, a certain region that could be known as a country. My anarchism is based upon the non-aggression principle, which, that being, is the universal application of non-aggression. So it's an understatement that, of course, I'm against other forms of tyranny that can be found in the world. I am against the state. I am against violent hierarchies. I'm against the institutionalization of force and of violence, which is the state, wherever you have the state in the world. It's universal. I am against any form of tyranny that might come in the future. I'm against any form of tyranny that has been in the past. I'm against any form of tyranny that is at present. I'm against any form of tyranny, whether it be here, whether it be yonder, over there, on this side of the globe, or on the other side of the globe, where it's daytime, where it's dark, and whatever the anthems and the flags. I am against the state. It is the universal application of non-aggression that I'm in favor of. So, is that clear now? Now, the reason why I would expend all this type of energy and focus upon the United States is because the United States, particularly at this juncture of history, is on the world stage. It's at the epicenter of a lot of things that are going on in the world right now. The United States is getting much more. It's getting bigger than its britches, and so of course I'm expending a lot of energy and time focusing on that, as a lot of other anarcho-capitalists are, or free thinkers, or anarchists or volunteers would be, who are taking advantage of the alternative media and the whole cyber internet world to shout from the rooftops, to try to grab the lapels of people's minds and to alert them, to awake them, to rouse them to what the current realities are all about. Now, there's a lot of people that the source of them being irked that the Western Hemisphere, that North America, let's say, would be under such critical siege by these anarchists and other intellectuals, it basically comes from not any kind of moral indignation. Let me make that very clear. There's no moral indignation. It has nothing to do with morality whatsoever. That if their patriotism has been pricked and provoked, is not a moral indignation. It is nothing more than the dead weight of cadaverous thinking, of indoctrination, and fully propagandized emotional conditioning that is being provoked here, and that's all that it comes down to. Now, we all know the phenomena of patriots, you know, people who are proud to be Canadian, I'm proud to be American, I'm proud to be fill in the blanks, right? Love and pride for one's country is akin to one's loyalty and allegiance that one can feel for a given sports team. They're very similar in one sense. We all know that the phenomena that the sports enthusiasts can take their fervor to such a degree as being fanatical, and where blood can be shed over clashing sports allegiances, and sports being nothing more than a form of entertainment. I mean, you know, that's all it is. It's entertainment. I'm not criticizing that form of entertainment. It's not my cup of tea, but I have my own interests and hobbies, and so for those sports enthusiasts, proclivity for enjoying various games and derive a great deal of value and entertainment from sports, great. But it's no mystery, though. It's not a major leap of philosophical abstraction that how one gains allegiance to a certain sports happens to be the sports team that's where one was born, what township one was born. If you were born in Toronto, Canada, let's say, and you have a proclivity for being a sports enthusiast, and let's say the specific sport in question happens to be hockey, well, what hockey team are you going to give your allegiance to? And how is it that you're going to give your allegiance to that? How does it come about that it's that specific sports team, that specific hockey team that you're going to give your allegiance to? Was it because of some exemplar sportsmanship that's been more manifest and typical of that sports team over all the other ones that you previewed? No, it's because you were born and raised in fucking Toronto. It has nothing more to do with chance and the accidental birth and township of where you were raised. That's where it comes down to. So the same could be said for one's country. From the moment that you're born and you leave your mother's tit, we are all inculcated into a certain culture where we're completely mished and marinated in the culture at large, in the public indoctrination, compulsory schooling, the culture at large, reinforced by our fellow citizens. We adapt to our background. We don't want to stir the boats. We want to get along with our fellows, and so whatever the predominant philosophical trends of the culture happens to be, that's what we adapt to. We condition our minds, our emotions, and our intellect is completely conditioned and enmeshed into that specific culture, and from which all your emotions and allegiances and customs and mores has been established, rooted very deeply, starting from your most informative years when you're a kid, and that's where you give your allegiance to a certain sports team or to a certain country. So it doesn't become a matter of ethics, it doesn't become a matter of morality, that whenever you see injustice prevail, that provokes your emotions. No, it's for those people who were cheering and rah rah, and who could feel their innards warm like hot toddies at the spectacle of the modern Roman Colosseum freak bread and circus freak show that was Gaddafi being killed on camera, and everybody cheering that and feeling, yeah, and believe me, I'm not. I have no sympathy for the man. He was a fucking asshole, of course, which I just made clear at the beginning of this video, didn't I? Of what I'm for and what I'm against, of course. But the whole point, though, is that where's this moral indignation? Where's this fervor when it comes to their own country's leaders? George W. Bush, Obama, look what these people have done to the country. Look what they're doing to the country. They're murderers. They're sociopaths. They're sick, evil, fucking people, for God's sakes? Where's the indignation for what these people are doing to you and to your kids? They're bordering the country on an economic collapse. They launch wars that causes the deaths of not only thousands of American soldiers, pitiful, sadly indoctrinated soldiers who've been led off into wars to fight for the purposes and agenda of the ruling elite, thinking that they're doing something good for their country, thinking that they're going in there on some kind of moral import. They've been lied and been fucked over like the rest of us, for God's sakes. They're throwing us into a debt slavery that's going to carry over into your children's and your grandchildren's future. And they're setting up a draconian legislation like the NDAA, the FEMA camps. It goes on and on and on. Where's the moral indignation when it comes to the crimes of these people? Yeah, but we're all, USA, USA. And when Saddam Hussein takes the fall, or Gaddafi took the fall, I mean, good. I'm happy. I don't moan and cry for the demise of a dictator, but it just shows you, it just demonstrates the blinders that we have when it comes to the violence in our own backyard. I mean, we can see the faults of the blue shirt team over there, sports team, blue shirt team over there. Boo, hiss, they suck. But USA, white team, white shirt team over here, yay. So it has nothing to do with morality or ethics or genuine intellectual independent thinking when it comes to looking at these matters. Anybody who gets pissed off at you because you're focusing all of your energies on criticizing the North American Western Hemisphere form of government, Canada and the United States, you get the idea, right? So, and how come you don't criticize? Well, what about you? Should be lucky, pal. Want to love it or leave it? Why don't you go live in North Korea for a while? You should be proud for the country that you do live in, for the freedoms that it allows you. Look at the freedoms that your government allows you. You can speak your criticism. See, that's the whole thing. It's just that, yeah, great. We got a great Constitution here. We got the First Amendment here. We can speak our minds. The freedom of speech, but it's just supposed to be some kind of like frozen, abstract principle that is never to be enacted upon. I mean, you can speak your mind, but you have the freedom to speak your mind, but don't do that, though. Don't speak your mind. So it's so fucking sad, man. It's so fucking sad. And the freedoms that your country allows you. You get the slave language here. You've been allowed to do something. Oh, thank you for allowing me to speak. It's like a neighbor knocks on your door every day and goes, Hi Bob, how you doing? Hey, today I'm going to do a big favor for you. I'm not going to punch you in the mouth, and I'm not going to steal your car. Oh, you might be relieved that some sociopath is not going to do that, to you. It's like, phew, God, okay, yeah, thank you, but you don't feel proud of that person. You don't feel indebted to them. They don't excite your respect and admiration, for God's sakes. So it's the same thing of a country, though. Allow, who the fuck are these people to allow you to do anything? They give you your freedoms. Your freedoms can't be given to you. You're born free. They can only be infringed, and that's exactly what they're doing. So that's my rant and rave today. Victor Pross, anarchist artist. Pop goes the culture.